Hello and welcome to my Common Sense Crypto channel live for the first time on YouTube. We're going to talk about this case ending between Ripple and the SEC. And what gets me is the fact that the case ends and right away people think that it's fake. It's like anytime something happens good for the XRP community, right away it's not real, it didn't happen, and you have to have 100 people confirm that it actually happened before people want to believe it. But we have actual confirmation from Brad Garlinghouse right here telling us the case is over.
As many of you know, just over 4 years ago, the United States SEC filed its lawsuit against Ripple. I'm finally able to announce that this case has ended. It's over. Sitting here today and reflecting on 4 years ago, it seems very clear to me that this case was doomed from the start. In so many ways, it was the first major shot fired in the war on crypto. I truly felt like I knew then that Ripple was not only on the right side of the law, but I felt that we were also going to be proven to be on the right side of history.
It really, I think, sends an ominous sign for innovation around cryptocurrency in the United States. Picking winners in general has not been something the US government should be in the business of doing.
I think the judge realizes this is not just about Ripple, this will have broader implications.
As Mary Jo White, the former head of the SEC, has said publicly that she views this as a dead wrong, and the SEC is dead wrong on this decision.
Ripple is the first company with the resources, determination, and grit to fight back against the agency's overreach. And today, this journey finally concludes. Today is a victory and a long overdue surrender by the SEC. The SEC, under Chairman Gary Gensler, went after the whole industry, using the same arguments they used against us. They weren't out to protect investors. They were out to intimidate and terrorize. The regulator, whose primary purpose is to protect investors, went all in on a non-fraud, victimless lawsuit and wiped out $15 billion of value from innocent XRP holders. The SEC was the market manipulator. The SEC wasn't seeking justice. They were seeking to win a case at any cost. Forces inside our government aligned with the SEC and embarked on a campaign of debanking anyone associated with the crypto industry. This was lawfare, a war of legal terror. Fortunately, the judge rebuked the SEC multiple times in this journey. First, for lacking a, quote, faithful allegiance to the law. The SEC was sanctioned in our case for discovery abuses, and the pattern was repeated in other crypto cases.
Well, let's just say they're trying to confuse you.
We won then on every critical legal point, proving that the digital asset XRP is not a security. That is now the law, and those wins have laid the groundwork for policymakers to adopt a set of rules for crypto that are in line with nearly a century of securities law. With today's news, the war on crypto has ended in defeat for those who turned our own government against a technology and an entire industry. I'm heartened that we have paved the way for other industry players to see the value in not backing down, and for others to use our legal playbook to fight back. We are now closing a chapter in crypto history. I think we are all stronger for our prior litigation successes and today's landmark victory. Progress is worth fighting for. We won multiple pro-crypto victories at the ballot box last year. It's time to make the US the crypto capital of the world. Thankfully, we have new leadership in the executive and legislative branches of our government. That leadership is actively seeking a rational and constructive way forward on crypto.
So I wanted to play that video to give people time to get in here. And I gotta tell y'all, today is a very good day to be an XRP holder. I mean, come on. And you know, we know the case is over, and yet people still cannot give us one. They're saying, oh, it's fake news. Oh, it's not real. It's like Brad confirmed it. Johnny Deaton confirmed it. I mean, it's like, can't we just get one win without all the bullshit? I just don't get it. And I cannot keep up with this chat, I'm telling you right now, but I want to tell you all that we are finally entering the exciting times. And I want to point out, everybody's asking, why did the price not shoot to $10 as soon as the case ended? And that was hype that a lot of people talked about for a long time. You know, everybody thinks everything's going to happen like an overnight event because we were always taught as XRP holders, XRP, flip the switch, XRP, tomorrow the price is going to $1,000. But right now it's just news. And XRP, in my opinion, has to go through a recovery phase. We've seen some of that recovery right after Gary was gone at the SEC. And now we're going to start to get those big announcements. Maybe some of those NDAs will figure out who they were with. And it's going to be a very exciting time going forward. We also get to look at the ETFs going live, which will bring institutional adoption. And we get to finally find out if the true price of XRP is between $7 and $13. My opinion on it is, I think we're going to see $10 plus sooner than people think, but it's not going to happen within the next couple of days. It's going to most likely take a couple of weeks to recover. What do you all think? And I always ask you what you think, because I know a lot of you are also thinking the same thing I'm thinking. We have alt season very soon. Now the case ends and we get recovery on the price of XRP. Then we get the ETFs going live, and people still don't think $100 is possible for XRP. In a normal or alt season, people were predicting $10 plus. That's just a normal run. That's with nothing else. So how the hell do we not get close to that? I think it's absolutely going to happen. I honestly still do believe XRP is going to flip Bitcoin's market cap during alt season. And then everything will change forever. But yeah, there's no way I could keep up with this chat. I honestly appreciate all of you. And thank you for the super thanks as well. I appreciate it. But, this has been a journey that we started together back in 2022. And back then, it looked really horrible for XRP. I mean, it was sideways action, long periods of time. But we stayed positive through it. And now we finally get to experience the freaking exciting times together. And that's what we always looked forward to. And I cannot say enough. I mean, every day I sit down to make a video, and it's like I'm thinking to myself, I got to keep these people motivated. I got to keep them going. And I'm still running on that energy that I brought home from work with me at the same time. And it's just like, this is absolutely wonderful. And I mean, even looking at the chart for XRP right now, you could kind of see what's going to happen. I mean, we're up here sitting around $2.55. And people thought this green candle was going to go on forever. I'm expecting some sideways movement unless some big announcements start dropping that this company or that company is working with Ripple and they're going to utilize XRP. Then we start to see those candles go higher and higher. But this is my first live and I'm kind of new to this. And I think I'm going to do more of these. And I mean, I just don't know what to say at this point. It's just such a great day to be an XRP investor. And hopefully the next couple of weeks, we actually start to experience real price appreciation for XRP. I'm talking like where we start moving into a new all-time high, then price discovery. Once we enter price discovery, the FOMO is going to be absolutely incredible for this cryptocurrency. Then we start to look at institutional adoption on top of that. And when I talk about that in a video, I don't think people understand what I'm really saying. We start with institutional adoption, and those institutions are going to start opening up passive income options instantly. The reason that they're going to want to do that is because they're going to want to make money in this space. And they're going to want to help you make money in this space because if you make money, they make money. They're also going to start opening up the POS systems at all these like stores. You know, they're going to get the stores to accept digital assets. And that's how we get to mass adoption. But it's not going to be like an overnight thing. We're going to get a wave of institutional adoption, early adopters. Then you're going to start to get another wave of institutions getting on board because they're seeing how great those other institutions are doing. And they're going to be like, okay, we need to get in on this. And before you know it, we will be on our path to mass adoption. And I still think that is only maybe a 12 to 24 month timeline depending on the digital dollar. Because I think Donald Trump is taking us into the digital age, and we will see a digital dollar. Is it RLUSD? We really don't know yet. It could be USDC and RLUSD. There could be multiple reserve currencies. But either way you look at this, a digital dollar is going to strengthen the dollar in the United States, and it's going to keep it strong going forward. And again, look at all the rails that Ripple has. It makes sense for RLUSD to be used domestically, utilizing XRP as well. Then you start talking about cross-border payments, XRP utilized. There's just so many things we have to look forward to. And the other thing I want to point out is when I talk in a video and I tell you that we have all these great things to look forward to, we absolutely have all those great things to look forward to. I mean, the list just goes on, and it keeps building at the same time. It's like, okay, just when we think we have all this great news to look forward to, now they add to that great news. And then they continue to add to that great news. Like, I'm expecting a lot of announcements coming from Brad about acquisitions this year, smaller companies that they're going to want to buy up. And they're already talking that, you know, these small startups are coming in and calling Ripple. So I expect even more to come from that. The one thing that everybody talks about, though, in the crypto space is the XRP ledger. If you listen to some of these people, they act like nothing big is happening on the XRP ledger. They're absolutely wrong. You know why they're saying that? Because whatever they're shilling is now no longer building out, or they got rid of it and the project died. So right away, all these new projects don't mean shit to them because somebody isn't paying them to shill those new projects. The projects on the XRP ledger are absolutely incredible. They're all centered around tokenization, cross-border payments, and strengthening XRP. And I'm trying to think what else I wanted to definitely talk about in this video. We're all going to get very rich. I do know that. And I think it's going to start this year. I think this is just the beginning. This case had to end so that we get the price appreciation, we start getting the big announcements, and I think over the next couple of weeks, we'll have a better idea on where XRP goes from here. But I'm definitely going to do more lives for all of you. I always wanted to do spaces on X as well, and kind of have like a crypto in the morning talk show and invite people on to talk about it, you know, talk about different things that are happening in crypto. But I always wanted to do it uncensored, like where, you know, we're throwing the F word around like we're out on the street talking instead of like professional. You know what I mean? I just think that would be raw and real, which I really want to keep that kind of thing going on instead of like, okay, when I make a video, and I talked about this on X yesterday, when I make a video on YouTube, I'm in like education mode. And I'm like, okay, I got to keep this serious. And I don't curse in the videos because I'm thinking to myself, that's not going to sound professional. And I definitely want to educate people. But then on X, I'm like a totally different person. I'm throwing the F word around and telling people off, especially if they're, you know, fudding on XRP or spreading misinformation, because new investors are coming in. And as these new investors come into crypto, I don't want them to instantly go and invest in something because somebody told them, hey, you need to buy Bitcoin. And there's nothing wrong with Bitcoin. If you guys think in my videos that I'm anti-Bitcoin, I'm really not. I'm anti-retail exit liquidity. I just don't want to see people lose their money to these big bag holders. I'd rather see them come into crypto, invest in utility, and get financial freedom at some point. Because that, to me, is what this is all about. And I always wanted all of you to get your financial freedom. And another thing I want to talk about is the dips. Whenever XRP dips, I know all of you are strong enough to make it through those dips because you've been with me for almost 3 years now. And we talked about dips and we made it through a hell of a lot of them on the way to where we are now. So it's like, listen, you can make it through anything. If XRP pulls back from here and then shoots back up, you will still be holding when that happens. If XRP runs to $10, pulls back to $7, and then goes back up, you're going to make it through that as well. Because we made it through so much together. And we are going to get to the finish line together. We are definitely going to get financial freedom. We just got to keep holding until XRP achieves new price point after new price point. And price freaking discovery is going to be where it all starts. Wait till you see the FOMO in that. The FOMO is going to be, you're going to have, and the ETFs. I gotta go back to the ETFs. You see why when I make a video, I talk off the top of my head and sometimes I gotta backtrack and then talk about it again because I left so many things out. So the ETFs, when an XRP ETF finally goes live, anybody that thinks that the money is not going to shift out of those Bitcoin ETFs, they're absolutely wrong. Look at the institutional interest in XRP. Everybody thought that the ETH ETFs were going to be massive. Oh my God, it's going to outperform the Bitcoin ETFs. And it was like a nothing burger. With XRP, you already have these institutions that are like, hey, we want to get, exposure to XRP before time runs out. So they're going to come in through the ETFs, but then eventually they're going to start buying the actual asset. And I think another thing I also got to start doing in videos is I got to start talking a little bit beyond XRP as well. We need to start talking about HBAR, XDC, XLM, IOTA, Algo a little bit more. And I've been wanting to do that for a while. But what happens is I start looking at things that are in the news, and I want to bring you all the news at the same time. That's why in a lot of my videos, I'll talk about real world events. I'll talk about, other things that are going on around technology, because I want to keep you up to date on everything. We are in an industrial revolution, and that revolution is happening now. You're invested in it. You're also invested in the fifth industrial revolution at the same time, because you're invested in well-rounded cryptocurrencies. So it's like, okay, you're going to get the best of cross-border payments, crypto, blockchain adoption, mass adoption, institutional adoption. But then you're also going to cash in on the wave of AI expansion, because you are invested in two different industrial revolutions. And people don't understand how big that actually is yet. They're always sitting there saying, well, it's something that I don't want to tie my money up in now. It's like, listen, this is an industrial revolution. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity. And if you invest in it, you can set yourself up for the rest of your life, your children's lives, your grandchildren's lives, and their grandchildren's life. Generational wealth. And that's what this is going to lead to. But we actually, when this case ended, I said, I got to do a live today, because I always keep promising you, I'm going to do this, but I never find the time to do it. And today I said, this is it. I got to do this right freaking now. And it's an exciting day. When I'm filled with excitement, I sometimes either backtrack on things I said, or I'll stutter over words because I'm thinking off the top of my head and I'm excited at the same time. But this is, as real as it gets. And that's why I like lives. Because if I do a video, I'm talking through the video and I'm showing you all the day's news. This is more real, I guess, because you're getting to see what I go through to make a video sometimes. Sometimes I will record the same video 4, 5, 6 times because I messed up along the way, forgot to say something along the way that's very important, and then I'll go back and re-record it. So sometimes when you get a video, you get the end product. And the path to getting to that end product is what I'm going through right now, where I'm like trying to think of something that I want to definitely get a point across. But when you're excited at the same time, it's kind of rough. But I cannot thank all of you enough. I really cannot. This channel, when I first started, I'd never even thought I would be doing this still today. I thought, let me give this a try and let's see how it goes. And here we are now today, and it's like almost 3 years later, and I'm like, holy shit. And all of you, I know a lot of the names. I'm reading them right now in the chat, and I'm like, I see a lot of the names of the people that have been with me for a long time, and I do see a lot of new people as well. But, we made it to this point together, and we are absolutely going to get frickin' rich together. You can believe that. As the XRP is absolutely running up. There's going to be a lot of exciting videos ahead as that happens. But I wanted to do this live. I want to thank you all for being here. I want to thank you all for the super thanks as well. There's 2 more videos that are going to go live today. I pre-recorded them. You could check those out. And also, I'm going to most likely address the FUD that's going on in tomorrow's videos as well. There's a lot of FUD going on all over X about this case ending. And like I said, Johnny Deaton confirmed it, and so did Stuart Alderati. They both confirmed that this case is over. And even honestly, I will be honest with you. When I first seen the Brad Garlinghouse video, I did think it was AI. And I thought to myself, oh, this is going to be a bunch of shit. We're going to see this run up and then a massive sell-off happen. It's going to be a sell the news event. And everybody's going to be like, I told you that case was never ending. But it's absolutely real, and it has been confirmed. And I know you all thought I was an AI as well. Because I used to see that in the comment section. And people are like, why is this AI talking like this? It's like, I am not a freaking AI. I'm an actual person. And I guess as I was making videos and I would make mistakes, people started to think, okay, there's no way he's an AI anymore. He's making way too many mistakes in this video. And I try to, I guess be more personal, like more human-like, because that's what an AI would say. I see it. Yeah, I want to keep it more, I guess, where people could understand that I am not just, talking about anything that's going on in the day. I'm actually trying to show you how the new financial system is building out in real time. And this has been going on for quite a while. I remember back in 2018, 2019, people would talk about the new financial system, and people would laugh and they would say, oh, that's not going to happen for another 10 years. And here we are in 2025, and this is almost built out and ready to go live. And I think Donald Trump is going to lead us into that digital age. And I think that's going to be where the flip of the switch moment happens. But the flip of the switch it's a couple of things. It's going from the traditional financial system into the digital financial system. And it's also XRP going live on all those rails all around the world at the same time. So I'm expecting it to be like a flip of the switch, but it's going to take a little bit of time to get there. You got to let us use your voice for AI. Good one. But yeah. So I'm going to wrap this up, and I'm going to tell you once again, stay patient, stay positive, and let's get rich together. With that said, I'm going to end this live stream. I want to thank you all for being here. We are going to definitely do more live streams. I'm going to do that. I'm going to try to find a time every day to at least maybe give it a shot, but don't count on that. I got a lot of work to get done yet today. So I want to thank you all again, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a great day.